Hi, everyone, and welcome to CS 124. This is our first lecture. We're just going to be going into the course in more detail and answering any questions that you may have at the end. So just first, a couple of announcements. Welcome. For everyone, whether you're a James Scholar or not a James Scholar, it's really important that you fill out the enrollment confirmation form. Rachel, if you could put that in chat. It's also linked here on the slides, and it should be in the Discord announcements and Discord resources channel as well. But this form is what tells us that you're in the course. So this is how we internally keep track of enrollment. And because there are multiple ways to enroll in the course, depending on whether you're a James Scholar or not, this is very important, because otherwise, we can't track you, we can't grade you. So if you are interested, this is definitely a step that you need to take. And then we'll consistently be posting announcements in Discord, so make sure you have your notifications on. And if you're not yet familiar with how to use Discord, we do have
I just realized I'm late to D&D.
Document that kind of guides you through how to use the Discord, as well as a video tutorial as linked in the same document. So our goals for today, we're going to go through some introductions. We're going to discuss the course content and goals, go over general lecture delivery, the syllabus, and then at the end, again, a Q&A session. You can ask us anything about the course or any questions you might have about CS at Illinois in general. So for who we are, to start, hi, my name is Raina. I am a junior in computer science plus philosophy. Some of my involvements on campus include being mentoring co-chair for WCS, or Women in Computer Science. I also did the summer ACM mentorship program. I recognize a couple of your names from there. I also am a member of Reflections Projections, which is the student-run tech conference that's coming up this September. So highly encourage all of you to, sign up to volunteer, or at the very least attend the conference, because it is very fun and interesting. And a fun fact about me is that I love matcha.
Okay, thank you, Rita. Hi guys, my name is Rachel. I'm your co-lead for the semester. And right now I'm a junior studying CS, and on campus, I'm involved with research. So if you guys have any questions about that, feel free to ask me. I was also previously involved with WCS, discussion lab, RP, etc. So Raina and I are both great candidates for you to talk to if you're interested. And my fun fact about me, I also like matcha. Oh, I trapezed this summer, which was super cool. It was scary, but cool. Yeah. So now we're going to go over the course structure. So the course is split up into two parts. The first part will be lectures and homework. This will comprise of probably the first 3 weeks. And then we will move on to a semester-long project. And this project will take up the majority of your time. You can use the knowledge that you learned in the first few weeks to work on your project. So more about the project, the most important part of this course. The project is team-based. So that means that we'll pair you with a few other students who are interested in the same topics as you are. And it will be also guided by a project manager. And the project manager is usually a past student who has gone through the course and who is also knowledgeable about the topic that you're interested in. They're there to help you, provide support, talk to you about CS at Illinois, literally anything you want. And the project can be anything that you're interested in, even if you don't have prior experience.
Yeah, and the entire staff is here to support you. So it's not just your project manager, there's Rachel and I, as well as, the other PMs. So onto kind of why this project and why is project experience important. It's definitely a great boost to your resume and a talking point with recruiters. As we mentioned in the video, it's not common to get this much exposure to this kind of experience so early on in your college career. And so you get to work on something real and something tangible with really effective collaboration. You're going to be able to work in a number of environments. So this course is a combination of remote, in-person, and hybrid events and meetings. So, you could learn how to really work in a team in these different ways. And then we're also working in agile teams. So this is actually an industry standard for team management. So it's great to have exposure to this and then practice working in a team in this way. And then another key point is you're going to be able to use proper version control. And this is something that is common across like software development. So, you know, seeing it now, seeing it early, and developing good habits is also very important.
And more about what the project will be on, it can be on basically anything you want. And this is a really cool part of the course. Is what we like to emphasize is creative freedom. So if you want to explore maybe game dev, you can well match you with people who are also interested in that, and you guys can create a project. If you're interested in web development, et cetera, et cetera. And even if you don't have any idea about where to start, we will provide the structure and guidance in the form of the staff, us, and maybe even other RSOs on campus who are accomplishing the same thing.
Yeah. All right, so now on to a little bit more about the lectures. With the exception of this lecture that we are delivering to you right now, they will be all directly posted onto our YouTube channel. These happen during the first few weeks of the course, and this is before we're really forming the project group, and we're going to be uploading them to the YouTube channel under the same playlist, and we'll be putting this out into Discord announcements as well, so you can keep track. And there's a general schedule, tentative. Some things may change, but for the most part, we're going to stick to it in the calendar that we've provided. Some of the major topics include Bash, Git, project, and then later on other miscellaneous topics.
Yeah, so more about the topics that we're going to be covering. As Raina said, the first one is Bash. I'm not really going to get too much into it. Stay tuned for a lecture to learn more about it. But it allows you to control your computer like a developer. So typically when we use our computer, we use it through a graphical user interface, like you can click and drop. But with Bash, you can just type a command and it will execute the same thing for you. The second one will be Git, and this is widely used. This Git is a version control system, which allows you to basically track changes to your project files. It allows you to collaborate with other developers using different computers. And you will be using Git for your internships, definitely your classes. I know 126, or now it's 222 now, right? 222, yeah. 222 uses it. A lot of the courses use it here. So just having prior experience would be very helpful.
Yeah. Great. And then on to the projects lecture. So this is going to be like how to get started on your projects. I know that it can be a little daunting, especially if you're just starting out. So we're going to give an overview of general categories that projects often fall into and give you examples of projects that students have done in the past in those specific categories. We also have this concept of meta groups, so groups of groups with similar project ideas and similar project topics and interests. So you'll have a whole community to communicate with of students and staff that, you know, share your interests. And then we'll also go through how to actually come up with a project idea and an MVP, or a minimum viable product, which is kind of just like the minimum baseline you need to meet for your product to be able to be called that. And so we'll walk you through that, and also how to choose a tech stack. And we're going to be providing a number of resources in addition to what you're going to get from your project managers, so that you feel prepared going into your projects.
Sure. Sorry. Okay, next will be homework. This will accompany your lectures. There will be a Bash and Git homework for the Bash and Git lectures, and as well as the project homework that will be submitted via Google Form. So the first two will be submitted via PrairieLearn. There's more information about our course on PrairieLearn. I'm pretty sure it's just 199, 124 on there. Let us, or we'll tell you otherwise.
I think it's
we'll make an
124
announcement later.
Yeah, I think it's
124 honors.
There's introduction to computer science 1, like freshman honors, or something along those lines. Yeah.
But those will open after their respective lectures. You will have until September 15th to complete these, but we would recommend probably completing them within a week that they are released.
Yeah, and then for the project homework, like, feel free to start sharing ideas now in the Discord. We have an ideas channel. So if there's something that you're really excited about or interested in doing, like, feel free to drop that there, and, you know, develop your idea over a longer period of time. It does not have to be after we put out the projects lecture. As Rachel mentioned, the overall deadline for all homeworks is September 15th. But again, we recommend finishing the homework within a week of receiving it, especially if you've added the class now, so that you can keep up with the pace and you don't have to do it all near the end, because it can get a little busy around that time. And the reason why all the homeworks are due on that date is because that is actually the date for our project kickoff, which will be a nice big in-person event this year. So that's on our calendar, and make sure you keep that in mind. Our office hours are held on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This will start on August 31st, which is the Wednesday that the Git lecture and homework are going to be coming out, and like 2 days after the batch homework is released. And these are happening over Discord. We also have our homework questions channel on Discord for like any asynchronous questions you might have about the homeworks as well.
Other than the Big Gash and project lectures, we will also be having topic-specific lectures. And these lectures are optional. You can watch them anytime throughout the semester, and they're recorded by our staff members. So there's topics including like machine learning, as you can see, like databases, website development. You can watch them once you've decided on your project idea, and maybe one of them fits along those lines. But we just want to provide resources in order for you to learn more about other subjects in computer science.
Yeah. All right, so kind of onto a large scale timeline of what this course is going to look like. So classes did start on the 22nd, but our lectures actually don't, like our content lectures actually don't begin until next week. So we have Bash, Git 1 and Git 2, and then these little curly braces kind of show just the recommended timeline for the different homeworks. We'll have our project lecture on September 7th. And then this is really important, on that same day, we will be releasing a project matching form. This is distinct from the project idea homework. This is where you'll indicate what your interests are, and this is how we're going to be matching you into your groups. So because this is how you're going to be match into groups, and if there's something that you're really interested in, like we want you to be able to be with people that share your interests. So in order to do that, this form does need to be filled out. It's a pretty strict deadline. On September 15th, we'll be having an in-person project kickoff, I believe from 6 to 8 p.m. We're still finalizing those details, but again, in the calendar, and very, very exciting. And then from there till the end, you're going to be working on your projects. Within that time frame, there will be the midterm presentations about like a month and a half in, so that we could kind of check in on your progress and see how you're doing. And then there'll be a final presentation where you'll be able to share all the work that you've been working on the semester.
So more about the syllabus. Okay, sorry. So Raina, are there any prerequisites to this course?
I don't know, Rachel, are there?
Let me tell you. Okay, sorry, that was scripted. Anyway, there are no prerequisites to this course. And by no prerequisites, I mean actually no prerequisites. And I remember coming into this course, I had no idea what I was doing. I still don't, but I had no experience really with computer science. So we will help you get that experience. This is what this course is designed for.
Yeah. Okay, so like kind of on to how will you receive credit. So don't worry about the credit. The most important thing first is to sign up for the class, and like we cannot emphasize this enough. So non-James scholars, you're going to be signing up for the class on self-service. It's CS 199 section 124. The CRN I think is up on our FAQ on the website as well. James scholars, fill out the HCLA agreement for CS 124. Be careful because the HCLA I think varies by college. So and make sure you're filling it out correctly. You're filling out the agreement for like CS 124, and then the professor you're putting down as Professor Jeffrey Challen. That's who the point of contact is going to be. And then from there, they'll be able to approve that for you. Because like that does not go to us. So because that doesn't go to us, like we don't have either of those lists or rosters. Everyone fills out this Google form. Rachel sent it in chat earlier. Otherwise, again, we won't know you're taking the course, and we really want to know that you're here, especially if you're attending with us. So, but then after you complete those steps, as long as you complete a checklist and you're really participating and communicating, you really don't have to worry about receiving a satisfactory or honors credit for this course. It's really about we really want to emphasize learning and growth, and we don't want this to be an extra stress, but definitely it is something that you'll need to put the work into.
Excuse me, right now I have one question.
Yeah.
So where I see this like honor credits on my transcript.
If you are a James Scholar, then yes. If you're not, then it's the satisfactory, unsatisfactory for the 199, 124.
Hold on, what do you mean? Can you repeat that?
So like if you're not a James Scholar, then it's not a letter grade, it's satisfactory or unsatisfactory that you get for being in the 199, 124 section. So like that'll show up on your transcript. The H will show up on your transcript if you're a James.
Satisfactory.
Yes, satisfactory. It's basically like the same as like pass fail. Satisfactory means you passed, and then unsatisfactory is like fail. Yeah.
Okay.
And for those registering, I believe the course number is just CS 199 and then section 124.
Yeah, and then this course won't factor into your GPA in any way. In the past, it was like an actual graded course, but because we really wanted to emphasize, you know, learning and like kind of like growth instead of project completion, we shifted away from that. So it is kind of like more of a pass fail kind of format. Yeah, it's 0 credit hours technically. So yes, it'll be a satisfactory, unsatisfactory for a 0 credit hour course basically. And the class, it should say like supplementary project for CS 124, I believe, on self-service. That's what you'll see. Yeah. Does anyone have like any like registration related? I'm gonna go back to this. Does anyone have any registration related questions right now? Because okay, does the honors class simply show up on our transcript, and will there be I think it just shows up on your transcript. Yeah. I think, you know, more than the actual like honors credit or whatever, like the satisfactory, unsatisfactory that shows up to your shows up on your transcript. There's a lot more you can gain from this class than that. Like if you're taking it for the honors credit, like that's really not what it's for. Yes, you can get the honors, but I think it's real. The true value of this course comes from the work that you're doing. Okay, honors simply show. Is there a CR? If there's option for the CR, and if you look on the form, yeah. And then it's a 0. It's like 0 credit hours for everyone. But like for James Scholars, the way that you fill out the form, like I know for LAS James Scholars, it's like if CS 124 is like 4 credit hours, you get the honors point for like 4 credit hour class, because like it's like you're taking honors for CS 124. So that's basically how that works. There's no separate time block or like anything. Like everybody is taking the course at the same time, and it's like graded in the same way. It's just the way that you register and receive. And then anyone in any grade can take this section, and just, I know it's called freshman honors, but anyone can take it as long as you're currently enrolled in CS 124. And then even if you fail, this course should not affect your GPA. I think it just will show up on your transcript as unsatisfactory. So and we will be very generous with the grading, and we'll be going through it in a second. And then this recording will be posted on the YouTube channel after. Any other registration related questions?
I have a question. So like, currently I'm still a part of general studies, and I like to transfer to computer science and statistics, this major, after for my bachelor degree. Does this course will help me? It's like for my transfer.
I don't know how much it'll help for your transcript, but like it does demonstrate interest in computer science at a level that's above and beyond. And one of the things that they really like may want to see is that you're, you know, doing projects and you're getting involved with CS on campus. And this course will really help you do that. Like there's going to be no guarantee either way, but I was in like a similar position where like I didn't have an interest in computer science when I originally entered the university, but I ended up transferring into the major. And one of the reasons why I did was because I took this course, and you know, doing the projects like really influenced me and showed me like how interesting CS can be and like how powerful it can be and like the things that you can really do with it. So I think, you know, if you're looking for that kind of experience is definitely invaluable. Like it's great. And So, like whether that works out or not, like it's good to have this experience, and CS is one of those things where as long as you have the experience and the skills, there's
Oh,
ways to participate and work on it as well.
I'll try my best and get a satisfactory grade on my transcript. I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so.
And
It would be, I think, as long as you do the work, you will be completely fine.
yeah.
Like, and we're gonna talk more about this in the next slides.
And then
Let's
for,
see.
the ad drop deadline is technically, the ad drop deadline is technically the same, but it for James Scholar, since you're not technically in the course, then like the drop deadline varies. But now we're gonna move on to the actual syllabus, and we can get to your questions again at the end.
Yeah, so more about the grading, as you guys might have questions about that. The grading is split up into the projects, final presentation, midterm presentation, as well as the homework. So for the weekly evaluation, Raina's going to talk more about this later. It's going to be related to your project. Every single week, you'll be graded on a bunch of criteria, and this will comprise around 60% of the course, so most of the course. For the other percentages, there's the midterm presentation and final presentation. These should just be like pretty simple to get. All you have to do is like show up. Did you listen to the groups while they presented, etc. And we'll have more information about these events later. The rest is the Git, Bash, and project homework relating to the lectures. And don't worry about this grade really either. We'll have office hours in case you have any questions.
Yeah. All right. So on to like the project grading per week. Attendance is pretty vital in the course, and so is communication. So because you will be working on a group project, you'll need to make sure that everyone is up to date, and weekly meetings are when you're going to go over the texts you need to work on. That's when you can get help from your project manager and really make headway on your project. So these have to be attended weekly, or you have to have an excused absence to receive a grade for the week in the other categories that you see here below. Make sure that like if something's going on, like just contact your project manager. We're all students too, and we'll generally be very understanding about this. We also will provide like 2 unexcused absences that'll be counted the same as excused absences, really like no questions asked. Just try not to make it a habit of missing your meetings consistently, because it not only hurts you, but it also hurts kind of your group and the progress that you're making. For the actual breakdown, we have individual task completion, which comprises about like 60%. This is split up into satisfactory and unsatisfactory. As long as you're kind of keeping on pace or communicating that like you might be a little bit behind and you can only complete certain tasks, a satisfactory will give you an 100%, and then an unsatisfactory 50%. And then version control and workflow complete is 20%. This is complete and incomplete. Same with your communication, and these each comprise about 20% of your weekly grade, and then it's the same 150 breakdown as the individual task completion as well.
Yeah, more about the expected time commitment. This is a medium high workload class, so it will probably take 2.5 to 4 hours a week. For the first few weeks, there will be lesson videos and homeworks. Each of those will take 1 to 2 hours. When we move on to projects, you will have meetings with your group every single week, and that will be 30 minutes to an hour. And to work on the projects outside of the meetings, they will be 1 to 2 hours of work. And this course is really what you make of it. If you want to put in more time, you will learn a lot more and maybe come up or be able to like learn more tools. And yeah, it's just depending on your flexibility.
And then so on to kind of just like the general information flow. So if you have any technical homework or questions, this can go in the Discord. We have specific channels for course questions and homework questions, just so that they don't get all muddled. For project group and lecture communications, this also goes on the Discord. And here we have the Discord tutorial linked again, so that you could just take a look and become more acquainted with it. Our recorded lectures, as I mentioned, are going to be posted on YouTube, and then homework you'll be able to see through PrairieLearn. And again, these announcements will be happening on Discord. In terms of like the project meetings, some of them may be virtual on Discord, just depending on week to week. Others may be in person. This is honestly dependent on what your group decides, but make sure that the majority of the communication is happening on Discord. That way, the two of us can monitor it, and your project manager can see it as well. All right, so now, like, I know that was a lot of information, but now, yeah, we're gonna open up the floor to any more questions that you may have.
Yeah, and the first question, someone messaged me earlier, so just wanted to bring it up, but they asked if you're able to choose your group for the projects. So in the past, we did allow this for people to choose their groups, but I think now we will do completely random because we found that we want people to meet each other and that, yeah, basically, I remember meeting like one of my best friends through this course just randomly, so we hope to have the same experience.
Yeah, no, I actually met my roommate through this course as well. And then in terms of like what you're actually going to learn, so the way that this course is set up, like the lectures are just to get you started. And then afterwards, your project managers will be really taking the lead, providing you with resources. And there's a lot of self-study in this. And like a big thing that you can be doing is really becoming like more self-sufficient kind of programmers. So you'll learn a little bit about how to read documentation, how to Google things, and how to figure things out. And yeah, you won't be able to work alone because of the way that the course is structured. It's really centered around a group project, and collaboration and communication are really key aspects of the course. And then there's a question about if students will be able to use this experience when applying for internships. I think you definitely be able to, like, it's something that you could talk about, and like just the fact that like you can learn how to use like different tech stacks, or like choose, like, to go through the whole process of doing a project is just such a valuable and like fruitful experience. You're going to learn so much along the way. So yeah, I think that's definitely very helpful. And then, okay, the project doesn't have to be completed in the language that you choose for CS 124. Whether you have prior experience or not, like there are a lot of people use Python for certain aspects of their project, JavaScript, like a lot of front end stuff, you know, HTML, CSS, and the like. So there's like a lot of different, just depending on what kind of project you do, you can adjust. If you want to do it in the language you're learning in 124, if that makes you more comfortable, then totally feel free to do that as well. Yeah, and then like, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. Wait, keep on going.
Oh, no, I was just gonna answer another question about interest, and I know it's in the chat, but we actually have, I think, someone on staff has like a machine learning algorithm in place to try to make like the best groups possible and match you guys based on your interests and how you rank them and rate them. And so we have both technical and kind of like more like categorical interests that you might have. So in like the technical side, it's like kind of like web development, mobile development, game development, like data science, and then like within that, like maybe like machine learning and artificial intelligence, computer vision. There's also computer vision, like data analytics, data visualizations. I think a lot of those fall under those categories. And then in addition to your technical interests, there's also like this kind of topic interest. Like if you're interested in finance, if you're interested in entertainment and music, education, health and wellness, like we have those categories built in place as well. So, you know, a combination of those things are going to be kind of considered in the matching, and then same with matching groups to project managers as well.
Yeah. And in the chance that maybe your project manager isn't experienced in something that you're interested in, we have a lot of other staff members. If you go onto our website, honors.cs124.org, you will be able to see a list of the staff as well as their interests. I think we have to update that. It will be updated in a week, but you can find them, talk to them,
and
Discord message them, etc.
Yeah, and then like we only, like I briefly mentioned this in the Discord video, but we have this idea of meta groups or groups of project groups, and like there'll be communication hubs for web development, mobile development, game development, and data science. So if you want to ask questions to project managers in those areas, you know, see some additional resources, or like even just like talk to students in the area that aren't necessarily in your group, you're going to be able to do that too. So, you know, we really want to emphasize the community and learning from each other, and then learning from, you know, project managers as well. So for in terms of like meeting times with project managers, these at the very beginning, after project kickoff, or like right at project kickoff, actually, your project manager should send out a when to meet, so that you could find a time that works for everyone. And sometimes, you know, this can vary from week to week because people's commitments change. But because this is like a course, the meetings are technically like mandatory, and like come before like certain like maybe like RSO commitments or social events or things. So when you're filling out your availability, it's really so that you can make this mandatory attendance requirement. But we are understanding, and, you know, excused absences, the threshold for that, like, it's just like really communication, and like we understand as students as well. And as Rachel said, yeah, the threshold to reach satisfactory is 80%, but like really don't be intimidated by that, because you know, as long as you're participating, you'll basically receive full credit. And we will provide extra credit opportunities throughout the semester as well, to fill out, like, you know, feedback forms and other things. So yeah, that is not something to worry about. Does anyone else have any other questions? Yeah.
So what are we going to cover for the lecture of this course?
Yeah, so during the first few weeks, we'll be covering topics like not Bit, sorry, I just mixed up the two, Bash and Git, which will be used heavily in your project, as well as like in internships and stuff. And then from then on, it's mostly self-learning. What your group is interested in, you'll be learning that. And there'll also be topic videos on other topics like machine learning, if you know you want to learn more.
Yeah, and then there's a question about like how much experience do you need to do well in the course? You don't need like any experience to do well in the
experience.
Like this is like, I can't emphasize this enough. Like I came into the university with 0 CS experience, and I was able to, you know, join a project group and contribute. And like you know, at the start, you may not be able to contribute like the same amount as somebody that's been programming for years, and that's totally okay. The amount of growth that you're going to see if you put in the work is just like honestly so surprising, and you'll be able to do so many cool things that you weren't able to do before. And just getting started on a project and learning how to, you know, install necessary libraries and packages and get stuff set up on your computer, even that is like such a big accomplishment and such a big thing that you're learning. So you know, you can adjust. The workload is really adjusted based on what you're able to contribute, and your project managers are there to support you and do that. So it's you need 0 experience to do well in the course.
What are the homeworks about?
The homeworks? Yeah. The homeworks will follow the lectures. So there'll be a Bash homework as well as a Git homework. And then there will be a homework for projects. So like thinking of project ideas. So, but that homework is just so like, once you've formed your groups, you'll have thought about what you want to do. And then hopefully the decision making process will be easier.
Where do we do homework, by the way? Is on Bash or?
Yeah, the homeworks, they're mostly multiple choice on PrairieLearn for Bash and Git. And then for the project homework, it should be via Google Form.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then yeah, as is answered in the chat, you won't be able to do multiple projects through the course, but there's definitely avenues you can pursue like outside of the course. And you can also combine multiple ideas. So like you're not really limited at all in your project. You can always expand upon it, and whatever you're doing, there's ways to make it better and ways to really make it great and like, you know, take it to the next level. So I had a project group. We talked about this a little bit in the intro video. It was called like Sign Revolution. And what it started with was like a computer vision kind of project to identify American Sign Language letters. And then what they ended up doing is extending it to a game. So they took that and then gamified it and put it to a Dance Dance Revolution game. So there's always like, you know, extra steps you can take in different areas of interest that you can really step into and combine to make your projects. And then in terms of like how many credit hours you think you can take outside of this class and still be fine with the workload, this depends person to person. I think when I took it, I was taking 17 credit hours, but that was a lot. And especially if you want to get involved in campus, like, you know, like it just depends on how you are with time management. But like, as we mentioned, like the time commitment for this course is like on average 2.5 to 4 hours, but it can be like a lot more. I don't think it would be much less. So that's definitely something to consider as you're deciding whether to take the course or not. And then, yeah, the course's name in the university system, it's like CS 199, 124, and you can use the CRN to find the class. And it is called like supplementary project for CS 124 if you want to confirm. And this course spans the entire semester.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay, I'm just double checking that it's 0 credit hours.
Yeah, and the LAS HCLA is on Atlas. I think there's a portal that you can log into as a James Scholar, and that's where the form should be. And like you can add a plan. And I think if you're a James Scholar in LAS, you're taking LAS 122. So I would definitely ask LAS or your instructor there, or if you're not too sure how to find it.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So in regular CS 124, we also have a final project, which is to build an Android app. So I wonder, even though that comes really late in the semester, but are we able to maybe share some designs between the two projects?
For sure.
I don't think that like properly, like it depends on what you're saying, because I don't think you can really just like copy and paste code from your project. You could take some of the stuff that you've learned in the project if you end up doing a similar one, but I don't think you can actually like reuse the code, because I think that would violate academic integrity policies. So you can definitely like use what you learn, but it can't be the same thing, and you probably shouldn't be like if it's to the point where like the code is the same. I don't think that is like technically allowed. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You just printed Hello World for the first time yesterday, and then are you too much of a beginner for this course? No, like printing Hello World, like that's just, you know, like the first step in your CS journey. And like, as I mentioned, like I was in your position too. I was in your shoes, and it can seem really intimidating, but there is space for you in this course, and you know, we're really here to support you. Staff is great, and you know, like if you're feeling too overwhelmed, you need help, you need extra resources, there are plenty of people that you can reach out to. Yeah.
So when's our next meeting? So there will be asynchronous lectures starting next Monday. We will have project kickoff on September 15th. We are looking to get pizza, so get excited.
Yeah, you're gonna try to get food for everyone. Yeah.
What was your YouTube account? What's the name of that?
Yeah, I can link it. Also, we'll be posting the slides for the info session as well as the lecture 0 on Discord soon, so you can refer to that whenever. But I can link it in the chat.
Oh yeah, somebody linked the YouTube in the chat. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, okay, to join the Discord, we have like the invite link in quite a few places. I think there should be, if you look in the description of our first video, what CS 124 honors, and it is also in the registration form. So when you go through the registration form, it has the different links to the places that you need to get to. Yeah, thank you, Drew. Yeah, does anyone have any other questions? You could really ask us anything. It doesn't have to be course related either.
Wait, guys, there's 124 students in here right now. Anyways.
Oh my gosh, there's 124, 124 students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
123 now, but.
Okay, yeah, no.
I'm a part of 124. I'm looking for like something great on my transcript, and also home projects. I'm really excited about that. So,
Yeah, we're really glad to have you here.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I always I just want to transfer into stats and CS so bad, so that's why I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like the transfer process is pretty rough, but hang in there. And the other thing is like the courses that you're taking, if you're on the path to transferring, also just give you the skills you need to be successful in CS. So no matter what the outcome is, you're really gaining the experiences you need along the way, and you'll still there's still a possibility of like getting internships or being able to get work in CS as long as you really develop those skills, and those courses will also go towards a minor in CS as well if you're interested. So like this is a great place to be. But and I know it's like really easy to get caught up in the idea that like, oh my gosh, like I have to be a CS major, but you really don't have to be a CS major to do great in CS, and have a passion for it. You just have to have a passion for it, and yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like basically this course is all about like making project, right?
Mhm.
Is there
Yeah,
anything
that's a big part.
else, or is there anything else, or we're just making projects and making projects and making projects for
Yeah.
forever?
Well, it's actually
Um,
not like you're doing multiple projects. It's actually like a singular project stretched over like many weeks, and the whole thing takes a while to develop depending on the scope of your project. It might have to be adjusted along the way, even if it's too much, because like building something from scratch, or not necessarily from scratch, but even bringing the tools together to actually like build a product takes a lot of work, and you need the time to like familiarize yourself with the different tools that you're using. So like there's the tools that we're providing to you and like teaching to you, but there's also tools that you're going to have to learn on your own, or like not necessarily on your own, like that was kind of phrased wrong, but you're really going to have to you're going to get support to do that, and the resources will be provided to you, but there is a certain aspect of self-study and independent learning that's incorporated in it, and it's like a really big part of CS as a whole. So it's
Yeah.
it's actually a lot of things you're getting. Yeah.
And also the project is only, after the first few weeks. So the first few weeks you'll be learning different skills, including Bash and Git, as we said before.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
No problem.
I had a question about registering. So I'm not sure if it's been already addressed. But I'm a little confused about where to fill the HCLA form.
Yeah. So you're a James Scholar?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What college are you in? Or
LS.
LAS, yeah. So the HCLA is going to be filled out through Atlas. There's like you can there's this place where you can add a plan basically, and then you're gonna put like you're taking like the honor section of a course. So you're gonna select CS 124, and then that's gonna be like, is CS 124 4 credit hours or 3 credit hours? Is it 4?
It should be 4.
I
I
believe
kind
it's
of forgot.
then you're gonna
3?
put down
Okay.
3. Okay, if it's
Thank
3,
you.
you put down 3. If it's 4, you put down 4. I would double check that because it's been a long time since I've taken the course, but you're gonna mark that down, and then the professor you put down, I think like the instructor should say like Professor like Jeffrey Challen, and then you're gonna add it to your plan, and then that goes through the system and like should eventually get approved, and then your plan should be approved. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I finished filling that form, so so right now I'm a part of this program now.
Yeah.
Does that mean that?
If you fill out that form, and then if you fill out the if you're doing scholar and you fill out the HCLA, and then you fill out our form. Yeah, I saw a few people encounter the issue with the HCLA form where CS 124 didn't appear. What college are you in? Are you in like EGS, or are you in LAS and Granger engineering? That's very interesting. Yeah. I guess I think there's like an email that I put in the Discord that is the point of contact for Ranger James Scholars. I'm not as familiar with that program. I don't know who the director might be, but if you can find that, maybe contacting them directly. We could definitely also talk to the CS 124 professor and try to coordinate and see. You have a lot of time to fill out the HCLA still, so like I wouldn't worry too much as long as non-James Scholar students don't have to fill out the HCLA form. But yeah, I would definitely check in with the like the director of the program, or and then we could, after speaking to people, we will well, if you contacted your advisor already, we could do what we can to try to contact some people that we know as well, and then relay that information to you. But if it's not resolved, like I imagine that like if this is not your issue, there could be exceptions and workarounds, but let's just hope that it doesn't get to that. We'll
Yeah.
definitely ask around, see what we can do.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So the people who have this issue, just shoot us a DM so we can check up on you later on
Yeah.
to make sure it gets resolved. That would be much appreciated.
Yes.
General study students don't have to fill HCLA, just fill the
If you're a DGS James Scholar, then you do need to fill out the HCLA, but if you're just DGS, then you don't have to fill out the HCLA.
so just fill out your form and that's it.
And register on self-service.
Self-service, what's that?
Like where you registered for your courses?
On CS124.org.
Oh no, like the banner. Yeah.
That website, yes.
Thanks.
If you signed up there, then you should be good. But like, yeah, we have to emphasize like James Scholars are not supposed to sign up.
How to sign there? How to sign on that website? Just talk to the professor, or
But no, you go and like you're able to do it yourself. So you go to like add courses, you go enhance registration, you go to like, would it be helpful if I just like opened it and walked through that here really quickly?
okay.
Okay, let me just, okay. I will stop my share for just a second while I log in. All right. All right. All right. Okay, I'm going to, sorry, to find Zoom again. All right. I apologize. This is taking a second. Okay. Here we go. I will share my screen. Google Chrome. All right, and then you can see here. So you see this like register for classes, and then you're gonna select a term, fall 2022, and then you can either put in the CRN, so like that's the 67084 or something, I forget, something like that, that you can type in here. That number is, I think, in our Discord, or you can find classes and you can put in like computer science, right? And then course number is 199. And then the second one right here, CS 199, 124, supplementary project for CS Online, you're going to click add. And then when you see this thing that says web registered, you click submit, and that should register you for the course. So this is the process that all non-James Scholars will need to go through. And then if you look at this here, you're going to put in your full name, net ID, and then whether or not you're a James Scholar. And like here, oh yeah, 67084 is the CRN if you wanted to register that way. There's a link to the Discord, link to the PrairieLearn, and the name of our course, and then other important links linked down in the form as well. So those are the important steps for the enrollment confirmation form is important for everyone, and then this is how you do it as a non-James Scholar for the registration.